Independent grind powered by Tech Nine.
All right, we're on the phone with Mod's son. It's a pleasure to have you on, man. You've been doing your thing for a while. What have you been up to lately?
Well, I'm currently sitting at my house. I'm out in California. I'm back. I've been on the road for I would say what feels like a good part of 6 months. For the last 6 months, I was out with
Jeez.
MGK first, and then I did a headlining tour, and then I did the festival circuit, and then I was just out with Blackbear for the last month. So,
Wow.
man, I'm happy to be home. I've been making tons of music in the meantime and doing all that stuff, man. So just getting ready for the next wave of shit I'm about to release, you know?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about the Blackbear Tour. You were with. We've interviewed him before, Lil Aaron. He's a great guy.
Oh yeah, that's my guy. That's my fucking guy, bro.
How was that experience on that tour?
Well, yo, I'll tell you what was really nice. Me and Bear, we've been brothers for 10 years now. You know what I'm saying? We really, really, really go back with each other. We've lived with each other before, you know? So me and Bear have a crazy connection. So it was amazing to be out there with him right now when a lot of this is coming to a culmination for him. Bear, real shit has been my favorite artist since the day I heard him, bro. Not even kidding. Before his name was Blackbear. So I've always known what the kid is capable of, and he's always known too. But right now, something really special is happening for him, and the world is really starting to catch on. So I wanted to be there for that originally, you know? And then furthermore, talking about Lil Aaron, bro, we knew each other before we went on tour with each other and stuff, right? But me and Aaron shared a bus on the Blackbear Tour. And bro, me and that kid became best friends, man. He's a special one, dude.
What's your favorite thing about Blackbear's music?
Well, first I'll say this: his voice is untouchable. He and not to blow up his spot, but he says it best, man. He feels like he was touched by an angel, man. Real shit. When it comes to singing, so his voice is amazing. Songwriting, bro. He says exactly what he would say in a sentence if he was talking to you. And then lastly, he's a producer, so he makes a lot of his music, you know, the music that you hear, not just the vocals. And then obviously he works with a lot of producers. But watching this kid in the studio, and we've always said it, man, watching him make a song is like watching an artist, your favorite artist paint a picture. It's special, bro. He does not question himself. That's probably the number one thing he's taught me. Watching him in the studio, this kid does not second guess himself ever, man. If he does it, it's dope. That's how he's always thought. And that connects with me a lot because I be trying to, you know, I push myself as hard as I can whenever I do anything artistically. That being said, you know, I haven't always had that switch that just says, yo, if you're doing it, it's dope. You know, if you're you, and if you're doing it, it's got to be awesome. And so I really try to go into that mentality a lot now, and that's what I've learned the most from him, I'd say.
I'm curious, sort of when people go on tour together and you talk about, being in the same bus and everything. Do you guys have a chance to make music together when you're on the bus and stuff? Is that so?
Oh fuck yeah! Well, I'm gonna tell you this straight up. Every artist that goes on tour, especially specifically hip hop shit, everyone goes out with the master grandiose plan. I'm going to record every day. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And literally, I'm telling you, more often than not, it never happens, right? Because you get out on tour and it ends up being, 2 weeks in and you're tired of shit. So any downtime you have, you're kicking it. Then it turns into a party at night and, you're on a bus, which is basically living in a hallway. So there ain't no tons of room around there to party and make music. So a lot of times it does not happen. In this case, bro, we made music all fucking day, man. All day on the bus. Because it was yo, I'm going to break it down like this. There was a bus that was the nice bus, right? And then there was the bus that was the fucked up bus. I'm talking you walk in, it smells like a pound of weed. You know what I'm saying? It's there's people rolling out of their bunks at 4 p.m. and shit. It was crazy on one bus. So that bus, we kept the vibe going. How you doing, brother? so that bus, we kept the vibe going on as much as possible, and I managed to record like 4 songs that I really liked. Like, we recorded more, but I ended up recording like 4 that we really, really liked. And those are ones that, there's this one that actually Lil Aaron helped me write, and fucking, it's a smash, bro. So I did. And Bear, furthermore, one other thing, just to keep blowing up Bear's spot, he recorded every second, bro, because he has a mind that needs to be consistently busy, like in the process of something, and all the, you know, radio interviews and this and that, and all the shit he does during the day, you know, that shit kind of like scrambles his brain a little bit. So anytime he can get behind the mic, like, bro, he feels at home. So back right next to his bed is like, he rolls out of bed right to a mic.
Wow.
Interesting on the recording process. Do you find yourself like you get in a zone and you make like one good song, and maybe this is Blackbear's mentality or not, but you get in your zone and you're like, I gotta keep pushing through music. Like, I gotta keep talking about this, what I'm talking about now, and keep on going?
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, personally for me, absolutely. And I think that's a mentality that a lot of artists have, which it can be it can hinder you sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Because here's an example is like, let's say you make a song and not even necessarily dropping it yet. Let's just say you play it for your group of friends, and let's say out of the batch of 4 new songs, there's one that they really love. And then let's say you release that one to the world and the world really loves it. Like, an artist naturally, I feel like in their head goes, oh, well, this is what people want.
Mm-hmm.
So then I'm going to keep doing this. You know what I'm saying? And yo, I think that's a constant battle, man. My opinion on that is it's a constant battle that I have. Is like, I kind of feel like I know what people like to hear from me and what would potentially, maybe in the eyes of business and industry, the songs that'll work. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, like, for artists, especially myself, like, those are the easiest ones to make. You know what I'm saying? And when you go into the studio, like, if you don't feel that little, like, inclination to like outdo yourself every time, I think that you could be heading into the kind of career that lacks longevity, which is something that I think is more important than a hit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're talking about, I mean, shit, y'all are in Kansas City, home of one of the greatest longevity careers I've ever seen in music across the board, but straight up for hip hop, but definitely, which is Tech Nine, obviously. Like this cat, we're talking real longevity. I mean, we're talking can drop albums and not need to push a song to be the reason that the album gets sold. And so I think that for me, that's like personally so important, which has really helped. Like, bro, I'm 30 years old and I started making music, and like, bro, I went on my first tour when I was 15, so it's safe to say I've done this shit for half of my life, right? And I feel like where I'm at is in a place where I can continue to do what I do and have longevity. Like, I could be in this exact same position that I'm at. Let's say I stay at this bar I'm at right now, and I don't even rise or fall. Like, I could be doing this for the rest of my life, which I really enjoy. Now, when you take that gamble, man, and you roll the dice and you just keep making the songs that people like to hear from you, that shit gets boring, bro. I mean, in that case, you know, 6 years can be an entire career. When you hear 3 albums that sound the same, you know, it's like the 4th album, you're just going to be like, all right, like, I'm done with it.
Definitely.
So yeah, I think why I started going off on that tangent, just because the question of like, when you get into the mind state of being like, oh shit, this is what people like, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like the opinions from other people are kind of the most important thing in music, because artists themselves, you should somewhat like every single thing you do. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're making songs that you don't like you should just stop, like, right there and make something else. Like, you should always enjoy what you're making. But when it comes to what the people like, man, that shit is, I don't know if we'll ever be able to figure out how to exactly put our finger on what people want to hear, you know?
How did that sort of that dilemma or trying to do what people want but try new things make its way onto your latest project movie? Like, are there songs on there that for you particularly stand out as ones that are different?
Yeah, so I will specifically say that whole project in general, that entire body of work, that was me shying away from what I think that the people want. And one of my favorite quotes that kind of specifically touch on art to me is that if you want new results, you can't do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, plain and simple. So I was at a point where I had made my music and I had quote unquote branded what I do. You know what I'm saying? Happy music, right? Positive music. What I would prefer to stand on top is inspiring music, but mostly it's happy music, right? And so I had really kind of tagged that as what I do, and I wanted to go further, right? So I couldn't just keep making the same project. At this point in my life, as my son, I have about 800 songs out to the public. I think maybe more. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to do the same thing. I can't just make happy as fuck full length or hippie hop full length. You know what I'm saying? I want to try something different. So that entire project, just starting with how do you start a project, would be music. Okay. So specifically on this project that I just released, I worked with producers, which I never did before.
Really?
I made all my music, like on my last album, my first album, I'm sorry. Like I produced every single song. Okay. So that right there kept me in a box of being like, okay, I'm making music over, or I'm writing lyrics over the music I made. It's all this one-sided thing, which like that killed the idea of ever having a dichotomy, which was what I love. I love having two opposite things that stand alone coming together. So on this project, I wanted to take beats. Like I got beats from Don Cannon on that record, right? Like there's a song called Smoking What I'm Smoking On, which has Rich the Kid and Drum on it, all right? And so, like, this is a hard-ass beat, minor chords, like shit that I normally wouldn't rap on. So I'm, like, pushing myself to be like, all right, I want new results. Let me try something different. And, the greatest gift that any rapper, I would say, has is the ability to touch so many different kinds of styles and still be doing what you're doing. Like, if you're a fucking band, bro, you can't be a metal band one day and a pop band the next. You feel me? Like, everything is metal. You can't jump around like that. As hip-hop, you could make a song that sounds like you could make some boom bap shit, right? And then the next day you could make some fucking trap shit. And the next day you could put auto-tune on and make some other shit, and it's still a part of your project. And, like, that's fucking crazy that you can touch all those boundaries that this other music has. That's why hip hop is such a fucking gift. It's so much like jazz, because like jazz music literally is like a freestyle music, like the basis of jazz, which is like there's no yeses and nos, right? Nothing is like this is what you should do, and nothing is like this is what you shouldn't do. Whatever happens is fucking jazz. And so with hip hop, like, yeah, man, you get to do that shit. So I wanted to be able to see what came out of me when I put myself on something that I normally wouldn't do. And what happened was, I found this crazy place that I'd never been able to touch, which was a lot of it was finding my singing melody, which took me to like a whole new place, because like now I used to hate my voice growing up. Singing, like I just used to be like, which I think a lot of singers fucking do, even when they're amazing. You know what I'm saying? They say I need to play. Yeah. But I'm gonna tell you what, bro. Like after going through the last 2 years and like really working my shit, bro, I'm not trying to sound like a dickhead, but like my voice is my favorite voice in music now. When I like get behind a mic and I'm like, oh, let's see what I can do on this song. You know what I'm saying? Just open up a session, throw on a beat. Let's see what I can do on this song. And I start singing on it, bro. I'd be like hearing these melodies that I never thought of. You know what I'm saying? They just come out of me. And so I think that it took all these elements of like pushing myself to do things that I wouldn't necessarily want to do, to finally be like, oh shit, I think I really fuck with myself. Like, I think I'm really like dope now, which was another thing that was missing in my career. It was like I was making music, but like I said, I grew up in rock bands playing drums. Then I grew up playing guitar. Then I grew up wanting to sing and doing all this shit. So like using my time to try a bunch of things took away a lot of time from trying to be the best at something, right? Or from trying to be really good. If I sat around for the last 15 years of my life instead of trying to play drums and guitar and be in band and just rap, like, bro, I probably would have felt the way I do now, you know, a long fucking time ago. But it took all these processes to find, you know, where you're like, holy shit, like, when I do what I do, no one else can do it like me. I'm not trying to be fucking better than Kendrick Lamar, but when I get in the studio with Kendrick Lamar, when I get behind the mic after he just does his shit, no one's going to be able to do what I can do. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if I'm going to out-rap him or out-this or that. It's like, yo, no one can do what I can do. So that's it.
I think you could,
and that's kind of where my head's at.
I think you could tell, like, by an artist's confidence, too. Like, if you are doing something new, like singing or something, like, as long as you're confident and, you know, put everything towards that and really, like, die for what you're trying to do there, like, you could tell that artists sound a lot better that way. I know you were saying that your album Movie is, like, kind of something that you're trying something different. Tell us about the latest music video that you dropped, Happy Baby, because that, I mean, that's like one of my favorite songs from you, and that's like going kind of back to you being happy and
Exactly, bro. So like to be totally honest, and that's kind of what some of this conversation I've been having is about, because it's like saying like, okay, it's in terms of that track, like, let's just break it down. I got the beat. I fucking love the beat. I was like, damn, like, this is like so easy for me to just make a song on this, right?
That's your track.
Like, that's my DNA, bro. That beat, that type of beat runs through my bloodline, real shit. When I get these fucking trap beats and all this other shit, I get confused a lot of the time. You know what I'm saying? When I get a beat like that one for Happy Baby, that shit like makes my heart beat. You know what I'm saying? So like right away, I'm like, okay, throw this in. Then I'm like basically leaving for a flight in like 30 minutes. And I'm just like, turn on the mic, literally listen to the beat one time, put it in the session, turn on the mic, hit record. And the first thing I said, I'm so fucking happy, baby. And I was like, okay, done. Let's roll with that. Run with it. 30 minutes later, I have that song. I'm sitting there. I fly to Minnesota, and I'm with my boy who shoots videos. And I was like, yo, let's just like, fuck all this like planning and waiting. Like, I just made this song the other night. Let's just shoot a video in the next 20 minutes and let's just drop it. Like, fuck all that waiting shit. Fuck all this, like, let's make a plan around something. Like, let's just see what happens. And, like, bro, shoot a video in 20 minutes. Edit this shit. Fucking put it on, put a clip on Instagram. Shit goes, like, viral. And then we drop the video, and it has, like, the best reaction of shit that I've had, that I've dropped in the last, like, 2 years, right? And that's including my newest album. So it's like this thing that I make the song in 20 minutes, I make the video in 20 minutes, I upload it, and this shit does better than, you know, these songs that you make all these plans around and these campaigns and these hashtags and this merch and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's a real funny place. And like, so yeah, man, like that definitely kicked my ass and was like, yo, bro, like, you see how, like, yes, we can keep in mind that it was very easy and, like, maybe it doesn't seem like you got to, like, really flex your artistic muscle, but, like, bro, like, that shit worked, and it was easy, and it was fun. So, like, fuck all this, like, you know, internal building and processes. It's like, when you're an up and coming artist, it's really, really good to plan and to plot and to really think about how to like take something and turn it into something bigger. Now, what I'm thinking now at this age and like at this point is like, for me, like I gotta stop all that thinking, because like I got people that can do a lot of the things that I want. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a really good support system of listeners that I can drop a song like Happy Baby, and in a week it's got 200,000 views. Like, I got that. So, like, I'm going to put that to use and trust that these kids are going to be able to, like, propel my shit instead of trying to make this 6-month campaign and all this shit. Like, I'm really just working on a project where I'm just having fun. It all kind of sounds like my older shit, which is funny. I mean, I think a lot of artists will realize at the end of the day that the greatest thing that I always love to come back to is like the first Jay-Z album, which he dropped at 28 years old. And a lot of people say it's his best album. I think it's like definitely, in my opinion, it's his best. And then you got to drop another album 2 years later, right? So his first album, he had 28 years of shit to talk about on his first album. Like, how could that not be one of your best things? You know what I'm saying? Like, then you got 2 years to talk about in between the next one, or a year, or 6 months. Some of these artists get back in the studio 6 months later. It's like, yo, you got 6 months worth of shit to talk about. Like, how great is this going to be? You got to push yourself, But like those first projects, they're so special because you have, I mean, think about those lyrics when you were like 12 years old or something. So you're like, damn, I always, or you hear one of your favorite songs and you're a young kid. And you're like, oh, I want to say something like that. And then on your first project, you have this thing that was in you when you're at 13 years old or something. And you finally get to say that shit. It's like you have so much to talk about. So right now, like, yeah, I'm definitely going back to like my original shit, listening to it and being like, damn, maybe I was on to something like that I forgot about, And I think it's like a totally okay thing for artists to be like internally critical, but then also be able to like internally go back and be like, okay, like I was doing something really dope. And all this experimentation was fun because it like, of course, I got better at what I do because I tried doing new things. But that being said, it's like, it should never be a problem to be critical on yourself to say some of your stuff is better than the other. You don't have to put all of your shit, like, yes, all of my shit is my music, so I believe it's all, you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay to be like, yo, this one really worked. This is the type of shit that people really understand. Like, it gets through with them.
Would you say like the times now, like with SoundCloud, you got all these new artists like Lil Aaron, you got like Kill Station, all these guys doing crazy things. Like, do you think that's benefited your career now because hip hop is accepting kind of all these subgenres and whatnot? And it might not even be hip hop, but
fuck yeah, bro. Like, I'm gonna say it like this: a lot of artists in my position that have, like, I'm gonna be, again, self-aware, and like I'm totally okay with pumping myself up sometimes. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that when I started doing what I was doing, there was nothing at all similar to it at the time. Period. Like, there wasn't. Like, you had to go back to like De La Soul and shit to find something similar to it. Now we got Drum. Now we got Kyle. Now we got, and I'm not to say, this is not me saying that they weren't around or something when I was doing this. That's not saying that at all. What it's saying is that, like, if you look at my music and let's just say like Drum, okay, his song Broccoli, which is like it's like what, pop rap, kind of happy rap shit, right? So like, if you look into my entire catalog, okay, I've never contradicted myself as far as my message, right? So that being said, like, you can look into any of these people that are doing like pop rap or any of this shit that's like happy right now and immediately find them contradicting themselves on a song by being like, yo, fuck this bitch, or so, shit like that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, they all have shit like that. So like, I can be totally self-aware and be like, okay, see, like, I wasn't ever following a wave. This is truly the only shit that I know how to do when it comes to this. Is like, I have a message and I stuck to it. So like, I'm definitely aware that there's like a field for me to play in now, right? And like, a lot of artists would maybe turn that into like a sour thing. Like, they want to be the only one, which I have a little bit of that in me too. I like to be original, you know what I'm saying? But like, at the same time, like, now I have a ring to play in, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have like how Basquiat used to look at everything. He used to look at everything like a boxing match. And he'd be like, look at the best artist, and he'd be like, I'm going to box with that motherfucker, I'm going to get in the ring with that dude. And so now it's like, yo, now I have people that like, okay, you guys like this shit. Well, let me show you how we really do it. You know what I'm saying?
Did you have any of that when you sort of, I guess, got in the ring with Drum on the latest album? Did you feel that at all, where you were like, okay, we're like kind of competing? It's all friendly, of course, but you're like, oh, I got to really show him what I can do on.
Right. Well, what it really was with that, right? With that is like, Drum's a really fucking cool guy. He's a super cool guy, really nice guy, and I'd sent a few records to him, right? So I was like, yo, check this out. And then that one was like one of the random ones that I didn't even know got like sent to him. I think someone else sent it to him. And he just was fucking with it and just went in on it right away and sent that shit back in like 20 minutes. So, like, that being said on that one, you know what? I'm going to tell you the truth too. This was before Drum even dropped Broccoli.
Wow.
This was when he had Cha-Cha.
Okay.
So this was like,
really early.
I think after I got this feature, from him, I think he dropped Broccoli like 2 weeks later.
You got in at the right time.
Yeah. Hey man, you know what I'm saying? We got those ears, bro. I'm always knowing what's up.
It's like getting Google stock before it goes public.
But now, in this retrospect and shit, now, if we got in the studio, fuck yeah, I'd be coming for him. I'd be like, all right, let's get it. And like that's like a mentality that I never had until like I started kicking it with MGK. And like his mentality is like, yo, if you want to be a rapper, you better fucking be ready to rap. And like you better be ready to bring it. Like you better be ready to bring it. Cause like he doesn't hang around with no fuck shit. Like real talk. Like Kels is, one of the most genuine people I know because he keeps it real. Like I've been in the studio before and I've been like rapping on some shit and he's been like, no, stop that. And I'll be like, where's okay? And like, he's totally mentored me like that because bar for bar, he's one of the best. But like when I just went and did this like LA Leakers thing, that just came out the other day, I just did this like freestyle and shit. But when I was doing it, I was like, Kels had just done one. And I was like, oh, motherfucker, all right, I'm coming for you. Like, I'm going to bring these bars, bro. And so, like, yeah, that's definitely, like, in me now. And I think that's a very hip-hop thing. And I think, like, my personal, like, mentality just never was like that. And so being around Kels and actual just hip-hop shit, and Bear, like, he likes that, too. He likes coming for everyone, you know? But I think that's a great, like, attitude to have. It's not at all condescending or cocky to be like, man, fuck yeah, like I'm coming for this shit, you know?
Early in your career, you were in like bands and you grew up as a drummer and stuff like that. Why'd you pick rap music though?
You said what?
Why'd you pick rap music?
Okay, I can tell you straight up. I'll never forget the moment. So like, right when this colossal thing happened in my life, the colossal thing was, I was in a band with all my best friends in high school growing up, and I was the drummer in the band, and I was, I'm not trying to take credit from anyone else, but we're little kids anyway, so it don't matter, but I was the motherfucking wind in the sails of that band, right? I was booking our shows, I was getting us in touch with labels, I was booking our tours, I was doing everything. And then one day, right when high school, like, ended, I got kicked. They just hit me up and just straight, like, cold called. Just hit me up and was like, you're kicked out of the band, peace. And so I went to this crazy state. And I was like, locked myself in my mom's garage for like a solid 6 months. And I was trying to figure out what the fuck I was going to do. I've been obsessed with Bob Dylan my whole life. So naturally, I'm like, all right, I'm going to like sing and play guitar. So get a guitar, start trying to sing. I get one of those little voice recorder things. It's like a memo recorder. And I record my voice singing a song. And I'll never forget being like, well, that's it. I'm not singing anymore. Once I listen to that shit back, bro, I'll never forget being like, whoa. Like in my head, I thought I sounded awesome. Like, what the fuck? And I'll never forget my friend one time, I was sitting next to him and I was like trying to sing along with the song and I look over and I go, what key am I singing? And he goes, bro, you're not even in a fucking key.
You're just talking.
Just like, he's like, bro, singing is like, Charles Bukowski said it best, man. He said that everyone's got a bird inside him. And that bird is trying to sing. And we do all these things to try to tell it not to sing. We pour pour liquor all over it, suffocate it in smoke, do all these things all day long to try to make sure that bird doesn't sing. But every single person inside him wants to sing and has this thing to sing. And it's such a killer with singing, because if you get told, I mean, I'm telling you that if you could be Celine Dion as a kid, and the first time she sang, someone was like, oh, that was awful, I promise you, she would not be Celine Dion, okay? Like, it's a very, very gentle craft. If you tell someone they can't sing, they're going to be crushed, bro, because it's one of the most, like, embarrassing things to have to do in front of people. And if you think about a voice, okay, this is what always gets me, man, is like, let's look at these people that are singing every single night, okay, and they go up on stage. When you sit in front of a piano, when you hit the fucking C, it's going to be a C, okay? Your throat does not have notes, bro. You are magically pulling those notes out the same way, in the same order, every night. That shit is pure fucking magic, bro, okay? Like, there is nothing but magic going on when someone sings, and I totally stand by that. So, like, you know, like, when I was in that zone and I did that thing and I decided I couldn't sing, I was like, I'm so sick of speaking with my hands and my feet. So I was like, how am I going to do this? And I was on the phone with my mom. She had called me from work. She was saying some shit. And I said something, and then she said something, and it rhymed, right? And it was like, it's something so simple like this. It was like light bulb in my head, and I was like, holy shit. Like, anyone that can talk can rap. And, like, this is not to be disrespectful to any of these fucking hip-hop pioneers that are like, fuck that, you can't just rap. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm not saying you're going to be dope. What I'm saying is what we're doing right now, right? This is how I sound when I rap on a track. This is how you guys sound when you rap on a track, all right? And we are rapping right now. We're just not rhyming. But this is the exact same concept. With singing, bro, like I said, there are notes. There is a mathematical fucking situation going on there, right? Yes, we're rapping, bro. We're rapping right now. And I realize that anyone that can talk can rap. So if I want to inspire people, if I go to singing, I'm already Xing out 75% of the world, because a lot of those people don't think they can sing, right? But if I'm rapping, I could touch probably so many more people, because simply, like, if I can rap and you can talk, you can rap. You can rap along with me, you know?
That's crazy.
And so that's what really pushed me in the direction of being like, okay, don't give up. Just because, you know, the singing thing wasn't necessarily it in your mind. And now, like I said, after all these years, like I said, I got my favorite voice now. But trust me, that shit was, like, wretched to me. It was dreadful to even think about having to sing. And now, like, I like, have this, like, aching, like, pain in my body that I want to sing as much as possible. So things can change very quickly. But with rap, man, that's what I just always felt. And like I said, I mean, no disrespect, but, like, if you can talk, you can rap. So I just felt like I could touch so many more people.
You've talked about being homeless before. You're outspoken about the hippie lifestyle and all that. Has it been hard balancing your recent success and your success over this past 5 years or so?
No, honestly, not at all. Like, one of the greatest things and gifts that I have is that, like, when it comes to, like, money from music, I turn it all back over, right? Like, I make sure that, you know, and very, very graciously, I do have someone that runs that side with me since day one. His name is JL Websites, and he's, like, an amazing person that keeps my business straight, because I'm a crazy fuck. But, like, bro, I'm gonna tell you right now, I am a crazy fuck to the point where I don't even have a Mod Son business, like, credit card or business card to touch the money, because I'm so crazy that we don't even know if I'm gonna fly to Paris one day and not come back. So like I have a person who takes care of all that stuff. So, like, I'm a very good businessman when it comes to that. And then any of the money and that kind of stuff that I make is off of my books, bro, which makes me so proud, right? Like, music money is one thing. It can be a little troublesome. It can come fast and go just as fast. And it's a weird game with that. I've seen it so many times with my friends. with this book stuff that I do, and I don't know if you're familiar, but I write books, and I have a book publishing company that I publish other people's books. And my first book that I ever wrote is called Did I Ever Wake Up? But it's a Times bestseller. Okay, it sold a lot of fucking copies, man, and it has been the one and only money that I give to myself out of what I do. And and why I was saying music money is so troubling is because it can be really scary with that stuff, because like I said, you can get a lot of people don't think about this either. When you sign these deals and you get this lump sum of money, like that's just, in terms of being a businessman, it's a horrible thing. You never want to get a huge amount of money at one time. It fucks up everything, and just going from the top tax brackets, like, it fucks up everything. So let's just start there. So I've always been very wise in how I give myself my money, because that shit can be really scary. When I spend my money that I make off of my books, and it's pure, my first book called Did I Ever Wake Up? It is about turning your life into a dream. It's pure motivational, creative writing, something that I feel is so pure in the world that I feel fucking amazing spending that money on whatever the fuck I want. Just because I know that the money that I'm spending and using was from literally giving the world a piece of my soul that has in turn helped so many people, right? So it's never been a scary thing for me. Have I seen that shit get scary before? Hell yeah, bro. Have I seen people have to do shit they don't want to just because they got bills to pay? Hell yeah, bro. But am I a motherfucking, like, dreamer and goal accomplisher? Am I still that, like, 13, 14-year-old kid that was like, damn, man, someday I'm going to have a big old house. I'm going to drive fucking Travis Barker's old Cadillac. I'm going to fucking fill up my crib with all my toys and fun shit. I'm going to do whatever I want. I'm going to smoke weed all day. Fuck yeah. I got to do that. I got to feel like I'm, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, at least I know this. Like I said, I'm glad I'm 30, because, like, I know that I am, in my eyes, successful to myself. And then on top of that, like, I would never want to be the person that, like, worked their whole life and never enjoyed what they worked for. You know, there's all these people that die with millions and millions of dollars, and they worked their whole fucking life and never went on one vacation. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is real shit. This is real shit. And this is, like, even to say to the people that are retiring tomorrow, and, like, the Alanis Morissette song, ironic, like, fucking pass away on the day they're retiring. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you worked all this time, and then you had all these ideas of what you're going to do with all this stuff that you worked for, and you never got to do it. And, like, bro, that's like a concept that just happens over and over with people's lives. And I'll never have that. So any success that I, like, have currently, I like to appreciate that. Like, I feel like it's, like, disrespectful to get success, or to get, you know, the option to do the things that you always dreamed of and then not do it.
It's crazy to hear your passion about your book, Did I Ever Wake Up? Because I was watching an interview before we were doing this interview, and, like, hearing your passion talking about that book and everything, I, like, went in, I found it on your website, and I saved it, and I was like, I'm going to have to check this out later, just because of the passion and everything.
Yeah, man, definitely. And like, furthermore with it, on my first album called Look Up, so if you go on Spotify and shit, my first album, Look Up, the last 5 tracks on that is the audiobook for that book that I made. So I turned it into an audiobook, which is the end of my first album, and I scored it. Me and my friend Eric Corvin, who's amazing. We scored it, the whole thing, like Miles Davis Bitches Brew, and, like, it's me reading the book, like, on some Allen Ginsberg type fucking 1965 shit. And, bro, it's just like, these are things that I feel very proud of. And then with the amount of music that I have, the 900 songs or so, you know, I have those certain songs that I feel are like that book, but not all of them, you know? So with this book, it's like, I know every one of those pages is literally like a little piece of my soul. And I feel like why I fight so hard for this literature in the hands of youth shit, and why I have a publishing company where I want to publish young authors. Like, we just dropped a Mike Posner poetry book. We dropped a Riff Raff poetry book, which is out of the fucking book. But, like, why I feel so important is because these are things that first off, like, I know that book is going to be read. It's read a lot while I'm alive. It's going to be read so much more when I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing that separates music and something that you can physically hold, is like, when you hold this book of this person's soul in your hand, that shit makes them live forever. And, you know, these are things that I know are like memorials, you know?
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm gonna have to check it out. Outside of your music, is there anything else you're working on, or even with your music, anything else you got coming up?
Yeah, well, so currently I have 3 things on the horizon. I'm working on, I do this journal series. It's called Happy to Be Here, where it's a book, it's a journal, and you open it, and the first half of it is in my handwriting, so it's like all looks like it's handwritten. Then you flip over the book, it's got the exact same cover, and the second half is blank for you to write your journal in. So it's kind of like a budding, teaching people how to write more. So I have the 3rd volume of that coming out, which I just wrote while I was down in Hawaii, and it's really good. Then I also have a new poetry book coming out, which I think I have the title for it, but I'm not positive yet. But it's almost done with that. And then there's new music, man. Like, I got tons of new music. I got tons of new shit that be sounding like Happy Baby. So no joke. I got a bunch of shit. I got videos. I got a lot of stuff with the music. And like the great thing is that like, I really do like to spend my time and stuff. But this project I'm kind of using as a propel to just basically be like, let's just see what happens when we just have fun, release this shit, put out these videos. Like, let's bring people into not so much of this cinematic life that I bring in videos, but more of this just like, let's walk around with mods.
That's crazy. We'll be looking forward to that. All right, man, we got 3 random questions, and then we'll let you go. Sound good?
Okay, no problem, bro.
All right, you're walking to the gas station. What are you going to get?
Oh, my God. Obviously, backwoods papers. That pomegranate juice. I'm obsessed with that right now. And then I haven't been eating meat for like 6 months, so I'm just like, I gotta eat candy lately, bro. So I'm gonna have to get something sour, like some sour. I don't know. We'll say Sour Patch Kids.
That's a pretty good replacement for meat. If you could take a vacation right now, where would you go?
Santorini, Greece, or Paris, France. What's your favorite place in the world?
Absolutely.
Coolest person or place you've smoked weed?
Oh, well, smoking weed on top of the Eiffel Tower is right.
Wow.
Because I just almost got arrested many times. And someone cool I smoked with. Let me hit you with something good without. I actually, you know what? I don't want to exploit nobody. Maybe I should say something like that.
Obama?
Yeah, so I was thinking.
Yeah, real shit. Something like that. No, Tom Petty, bro.
Wow.
Tom Petty.
That's
awesome.
crazy.
Yeah.
All right, man. We really appreciate this. We appreciate you being a genuine dude. I think it really reflects on your music, and your fans really love that. And, you know, you're not just a rapper. You're just a regular-ass dude that people can connect to, and we really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, fuck yeah, man. Well, I appreciate that, too. I can't wait to check this shit out. Much love for having me, baby. We're going to run this day out. Have a fucking good day out there, everyone listening. I love you from the bottom of my heart. Fuck with me, baby.
This is the genius, Chris Calico. Cali, baby. Letting you know you're tuned into Tech Nine's independent grind on Dash Radio.